this is the irony of it all, and this is the trap. The Europeans began to manipulate history when they rose and began to expand into the broader world in the 15th and the 16th century, because they had to justify the slave trade and they had to justify the colonial system that followed. And modern racism has its incubation in that period. You cannot enslave a man and say he's a human being, that he has humanity. Black people have never written any definitions of race, any definitions of what are people. They have never said that these people with these kind of traits belong here. Because modern racism had its development in the pseudo-scientific development of intellectual Europe after the 15th century. And they began to say that certain kind of people belong to certain kind of race, and they created the concept of race and racism itself.
You saying, in essence, that there's no such thing as a race?
Oh, I maintain that race is the phoniest issue ever invented by the mind of man. The European invented and developed the concept of race. There's really no such thing as a race because nature created no races. Race is a man-made thing.
Could we say that being called black was a political term?
It's a political term, and a term which indicates our self-awareness at this juncture in history, and I think we really need it. We need to really bathe in blackness for a while, but I wish we'd get the bath over with and go on to something a little more important. Black in itself is not an ethnic term. Black tells you how you look, but it don't tell you who you are. We are essentially an African people. Wherever we live on this earth, we're essentially an African people. And we relate to the millions of African people throughout the world, including the uncounted millions of Africans in Asia. The word Afro-American or African-American would probably be more appropriate and more honest and more in keeping with what we actually are. Because all of us are not positively, physically, real jet black. And so the argument now sometimes is between the supernationalists and the mild nationalists and blacker than thou. When blackness is a state of mind, a state of attitude, a state of approach to things that can exist in almost any of us, including from the blonde black person to the jet black. And the jet black can be traitors, and they can be patriarchs, they can be a whole lot of it. See, we've been everything in history from saint to buffoon. We're a complete people, and we need to start looking at ourselves as a complete people. And I think that once we convinced ourselves that we're black and beautiful, we'll stop saying it and just go ahead and be black and beautiful and release a whole lot of energy for more important things. And we need to start looking at ourselves as a complete people. And I think that once we convinced ourselves that we're black and beautiful, we'll stop saying it and just go ahead and be black and beautiful and release a whole lot of energy for more important things.
Could we say that being called black was a political term?
It's a political term, and a term which indicates our self-awareness at this juncture in history, and I think we really need it. We need to really bathe in blackness for a while, but I wish we'd get the bath over with and go on to something a little more important. We need to really bathe in blackness for a while, but I wish we'd get the bath over with and go on to something a little more important.
All right. ETM Hotep. This is your brother Wujau Menib Eri Ma'at, and we are live on the Sesh channel, the Sesh Mani Medew Netcher channel. So shout out to Monica Lamb is in the building. I see. All right, so and whoever's watching, make sure you type something in the chat so we can see you and shout you out. So today is Monday, of course, and hope everyone has had a good weekend and a good first day of the week at work, whatever it is that you do. And so today is Mellow Mondays, nothing too deep. But what I'm going to start doing is popping up on everybody, doing pop quizzes as we're about to do tonight. So who's ever tuned in, who's ever tuned in, you are required to take this quiz. No, but I decided to kind of see who's been paying attention, throughout any of the videos from a long time ago, from our very first video all the way up until now in your own studies, whatever the case is. So I'm going to start popping up on everyone, giving quizzes, live quizzes to the chat. So whoever's in the chat at any given moment, I'm going to pop up a quiz. You never know when I'll do it. I may, do a show on a totally different topic and share information, maybe, share a presentation, and then bam, I might pop up with a pop quiz. All right, so you always got to be ready. When you're dealing with me, you got to be ready. You got to be on your toes. All right, you got to be sharp. But no, this is a good way to gauge who pays attention over the years. And even if you're new, chime in, try to answer questions, engage, whatever the case is. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to ask your question and everything. All right. So that's what it's going to be. So we're going to have these pop quizzes. Now, I did this before in the past, but it wasn't anything that I did on a consistent basis. So I'm going to, resurrect the pop quiz, but this time will be more consistent because we definitely need it now more than ever. Because a lot of these different channels, people are entertained. People watch and listen to various different channels, and people going live and everything, which for the moment may be a good thing, or you may get what you want, what you need. But then what? So we want to make sure that people are retaining information, especially when it's shared. And then what we do here on this channel, we share information and in a way where you should, retain the information, everything like that. So we're going to pop these pop quizzes on everyone. And I just thought of this. So it's this would be the first time I'm doing this in a long time. And I haven't even, while I even set up the live just to go live, I didn't really think of anything. I just know I'm going to do a pop quiz. So this is like a combination between Freestyle Friday and pop quiz. So it's a freestyle pop quiz, but on my part. So just straight from the dome, just giving a pop quiz. But you're going to learn something, all right? And all these pop quizzes, I guarantee you're going to learn something. You're going to learn something. All right, so I see we got Bucksy in the building. Zane, Brother Zane. Kinesis is in the building. Shout out. All right. And Mo says she always falls asleep. Nope, you got to stay awake this time. So you got to whoop yourself up, Mo, this time. Whoop. Set that, get your whoop juice or something. Or whatever whatever you need to do. All right. No, this is not going to be that deep. This is not going to be that deep. All right. So I'm just trying to buy a little bit of time to see who's going to pop up and who's present. And those who don't know, because I didn't announce this, so those who don't know, they'll at least be able to see the title and or watch the video, the archive, and say, okay, so would y'all starting back up those pop quizzes? Because we had it on and popping in the past, especially Freestyle Fridays. People were really having fun. We were having fun. People were chiming in, giving their best shots and things. And it was all a nice learning experience. So Zane said he hates, let me turn this chat on actually. Zane said he hates pop quizzes. Yeah, in school, a lot of people hated pop quizzes. But I don't know. I must have been a nerd. Because our pop quiz, I was like, yes, let's get it. All right, so yeah, my dog ate my homework. That was the that was the excuse. That's the joke excuse. Nobody could really use that. Dog ate your homework. All right, so let's get into it. So I'm not going to delay any further. Anybody who tunes in while we're getting it going, everybody has to play catch up. So you all in the chat, catch people up if they come on the chat asking what are we doing. Fill everybody in. Give them a quick update. All right, so let's just jump on in. Now I do want to make an announcement though. So this Saturday, and spread the word, this Saturday at 12 p.m. this Saturday, Zoom session for any and everyone that has ever taken a class, thinking about taking a class, that will take the class, that have already signed up for the class. Any and everybody is welcome. So we trying to have a Zoom open house session this Saturday at 12 noon. All right. And everyone who has already registered on Sabre University, even if you haven't enrolled in any of the courses, as long as you are a registered user at Sabre University, you're going to get the email with the Zoom link and everything in it. All right. So if you're listening right now, and even if you haven't signed up for any course, or you're thinking about it, you're straddling the fence, or whatever the case is, signing up to Sabre University is totally free. So make sure you go to sabreuniversity.com and just register as a user. That way you'll be on the email list, and everyone will get the Zoom link. So the Zoom link will be sent through Sabre University's email list. And if those who would like to attend, it's there for them. Those who may be thinking about it and don't, or may not be able to attend, then you're gonna miss out on that one. So that's an open house. It's not, it's for anybody. You don't have to be registered for the class or anything like that. But it's an open house to introduce the class, what it's about, how it's done, and so on and so forth. So definitely be there, or as they say, be square. All right, so spread that around. Announce that on Facebook, whatever the case is. All right, so that's what I had to announce, and I'll probably announce that again a little later. All right, so what are we gonna get into? So pop quiz. So tonight, the quiz is gonna be, as a matter of fact, let me get my trusty whiteboard. I think Mo likes them whiteboards, and we are definitely gonna put the whiteboard up. So today we're doing a pop quiz, and let me get it up here. All right. So we got the whiteboard up. Now, if you don't know already, I mentioned pop quiz several times. I hope you have a pen and pad near you, or your computer opened up with Notepad or Google Docs or whatever it is that you do to take notes. All right, you're going to need it. Preferably on your computer, your laptop, or whatever the case is. All right. So I'm going to be testing to see if people have paid attention or are paying attention right now. So we are going to start off with this here. So I'm going to show some glyphs. We're going to start off here, and we're just jumping in. All right. Now make it real big. So I want somebody in the chat, hopefully someone in the chat knows what this word is. Now this is a word, so you don't have to parse the glyphs to figure out where a word begins and where a word ends, because this is not a phrase or a sentence or anything of that nature. This is a word. So these three glyphs that you see here constitutes a word. So my first question to anyone in the chat is, what is this word? So let's start there. What is this word here on the screen? And I just want to gauge the chat to see how, where we need to go. All right, because you're gonna learn something tonight. I guarantee you that. All right, that's a guarantee. But I want to start there. Okay, so now here's the thing: there's a slight delay between what I'm saying, and then by the time you hear it, and then by the time you type something in the chat, and then for me to see it. So that turnaround time, that latency, and I really wish that YouTube and Google did something about that. But we have to go with what we know right now. But there's a delay. So when I ask these questions, I'm gonna keep on kind of talking because I don't like that dead space. All right. Now listen, don't be ashamed if you want to guess. Don't guess like out of the clear blue sky. You know, come with some kind of basis, but don't be ashamed. You know, we're not going to judge. If you get it wrong, you get it wrong. That's just, well, it is what it is. You get it right, you get it right. All right. But that's my first question. What is this word? If anyone in the chat remembers or have seen this before or familiar with this word, what is it? All right. So I'm gonna give a little bit of time to, for the word. All right. Give a little bit of time. Give a little bit of time. But in the meantime, like I said, welcome to the Sesh channel. This is your brother Wujao, and I have popped up with a quiz, and I'm going to be consistent with these. Like I said, we did these in the past, and we had fun. We did it in conjunction with Freestyle Friday, where we would freestyle and do transliteration and translations without the help of any books, no dictionaries, no sign list or glyph list or any of that stuff. All right, and so that was pretty fun, and it keeps you on your toes, so it's really, really good. But I want to test you all out here. So I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. I don't see anybody answering. So listen, if you don't, instead of the chat being totally blank on this, if you don't know, say so. Kinesis, that's excellent. All right, so now we're getting somewhere. So that's excellent. I see the determinative for a border or other country. That's excellent. All right, so that would be the third glyph, right? So now we're getting somewhere. So maybe somebody else can chime in. So now, if you're not familiar with the full word on site, like you see it when I posted it and you already recognize the whole word, then let's start breaking down the glyphs then. It's only 3 glyphs here. All right, so Kinesis already kicked it off for everybody. The third glyph is a determinative, which is correct. It is a determinative. Now, Kinesis, I have a follow-up question for you, just for you. Why are those glyphs called determinatives? Why do scholars call those glyphs determinatives, which is usually the last glyph with a word, for a word, specifically substantives for sure? Why do scholars refer to them as determinatives? I'm going to see if you know. Got Sumo in the building. Shout out to Sumo. Peace. So Sumo, I think if you're just tuning in, just to bring you up to speed, we're having a pop quiz. Everybody's going to learn something. People going to have a takeaway box. Everybody's at the Wujao's carry out. I'm serving up quick brief quizzes / lessons, you name it. I got all the hors d'oeuvres. I got all the little finger food right now. All right, so come have a seat. Come have a seat and spread the word. So I'm going to be doing this on a regular basis, on consistent, I should say. Okay, so Kinesis answer says, this helps to determine the meaning of the glyph. Okay, you almost had it all right. What the only thing you need to change, and you probably meant this, but you didn't type it. It helps determine the meaning of the word, not the glyph. Okay, so and that's probably what you meant. All right, so it helps determine the meaning of the word. All right, a second follow-up question, Kinesis. Second follow-up question. What is another word for meaning? And I'm going to give you a hint. It starts with S. What is another word for meaning? And it starts with S. And this goes for anybody. Anybody can answer this. I don't want to pick on Kinesis. But it's but you have to follow along, because my question is based on Kinesis' response, a follow-up to that. But anybody can answer it. What is another word for meaning? And it starts with S. All right, so like I said, these like delay and whatnot. I'm gonna keep on talking, so that's just the nature of YouTube. I'm gonna keep on talking, but I want you all to answer the questions. Okay, so Zane says syntax, not quite, nope. And Kinesis says sense. You would get a point there, but that's not the word that should trigger in your head. All right, shout out to Ampianki in the building, and he says symbol. Nope, not quite. What's another word for meaning, but it starts with an S? So we have okay, so Zane is really close. I think you're correct in your mind, but you're not. Let me put your answer on the screen. I think you're correct, but I need to make sure, because I need you to spell it right. You said Simtex. You're real close. Just try again. You're real close. You're real close. So again, the question is, what is another word for meaning? And it starts with an S. You hear it all the time. You hear it all the time. Trust me, you hear it all the time. Got Jehudi Ma'at in the building. Hotep, ETM Hotep. There we go, DW. There it is right there. That's the word. Semantics. Yeah, so Zane, I think that's what you meant. You can let me know. I think that's what you meant. You just misspelled it. All right. So exactly. So now back to Kinesis, who gave the correct question. That was just a follow-up question. Now, so these so-called determinatives, as you said, they were named because it helps determine the meaning of the word. Okay. Now, another word for meaning is semantics. Okay, semantics is a study of meaning. So these glyphs can also be referred to as semantemes. Semantemes. Matter of fact, I'm going to spell it in the chat. Semantemes. Okay, so that's what these glyphs are also called. All right, so when you take classes, if you take a class with me, you're gonna hear me give the formal, more specialized words for all of these different things, all the different aspects of grammar, morphology, syntax, and things like that. Anything dealing with the linguistic specifics of everything, you're gonna hear what these things are actually called. And I go back and forth from the more specialized terms and then what you hear mostly. Okay, so that way everybody can learn and get it under their belt. All right. Okay, so let's move on. So now, for those who have just joined in, to catch you up, this is a pop quiz night. So this is Mellow Monday's pop quiz. So I decided to do a pop quiz, and I'm going to be doing this consistent. We used to do them in the past, but not so much consistently. But I'm going to intentionally do this because we're in a day and time where we need to know who pays attention to these lessons and to these videos. All right, because like I said, they're, we all watch various different live streams and different platforms for different reasons. And I just want people to understand, when you come here to the Sesh channel, Sabre University, and all of that good stuff, anything affiliated with that you're gonna learn something. Okay, it's about learning. All right, that's what it is, and we can have fun doing it, but the main focus and the main thing is learning something. And so because of that, I need to know who is paying attention, who's learning. All right, and that's just how things are. That's how I am. Been teaching for too long. Been teaching, and that's just how I deal with everything, pretty much. Okay. Okay. So the first question I asked, the very first question in this pop quiz, was the three glyphs you see on the screen. What is that word? So now that we have more people in the chat, maybe somebody knows. So I'm gonna re-ask my first question. If anybody recognizes the three glyphs as a full word, and that's what it is. So we don't have to parse the glyphs. It is a word. So it's not a phrase or a sentence where you got to worry about where the word begins, where it ends. What you're looking at is a full word. So my question is, what word is that? And now this is not freestyle. So if you do have dictionaries handy, which I recommend you get all of them. And if you have ever taken a class with me, or you're thinking about taking a class, I believe I have all of the dictionaries, ancient Egyptian dictionaries, and I make sure everyone gets them. Okay, with a note that which ones are pros and cons about each and every one of them, and then which one I recommend as a beginner that you use before start stepping into any of the other ones. Okay, so anyway, so if you have a dictionary, you gotta look up a dictionary. Definitely do that. Definitely do that. Okay, so all right, so DW has it correct. All right, has it correct. So remember, that was my original question. What is this word? And DW has it correct. So now here's the thing. If you didn't know what the word is, Kinesis is the one that stepped up and started to do the next best thing, which is to identify the individual glyphs and so on and so forth. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with the transliteration translation procedure, we go over it all the time. There's 4 steps. Step 1 is to determine direction in which the glyphs are to be read. Step 2 is to identify each and every glyph. Step 3 is to parse the glyphs into the words that they're composed of, to be able to look them up in dictionaries. And step 4 is to apply grammar in order to come away with a sensible translation. Those are the 4 steps. All right. Now, obviously, if you see a set of glyphs and you already recognize it as a word and you know what it means, then step 1, 2 is skipped. You perform that at a flash, and you go to step 3. And if you already know what the word is or what it means, or what the meaning is in English, then you skip step 3. And then this is not a sentence or anything like that, so it's not much grammar on the syntax side, but morphology, yes. And that's what we're about to get into. Okay, so DW, you are correct. It is Aminet. Now you have Amintet. All right, so you're almost correct. Not quite. It's Aminet. All right, not Amintet though. Okay, we're gonna get there, but that's what we're seeing on the screen. All right. So let me put this on the whiteboard. Matter of fact, I'm gonna take you all's comments away for a second, because I want everybody to see what's going on here. Okay, so this word here, now what you're going to see me do, I'm going to transliterate it. I'm going to transliterate it in the transliteration system that we call manual decodage, as well as what we call diacritic system, both. And I'm doing that both so you can get familiar with both. All right. So, and the spell check, so I got to worry about the spell check. Spell check is going to try to correct me each and every time. And this is when I don't need it to correct me. All right, so I'm going to, okay, so let me see if that's big enough. Yeah. All right, so you all will be able to, all right. I might have to shrink this up a bit. We're going to move it over here. Now, there's nothing really diacritic. There's no diacritics in this, so the manual decodage is going to look the same as the diacritic. So I'm going to put, I guess I'll put the manual decodage on top and the diacritic on the bottom. All right, so that you know. Okay, so they look identical because there's no diacritic marks in this particular word. Now, let me give you all a lesson on notation, transliteration notations. All right, and like I said, if you have a pen and pad, you need to write it down, or you know, you got your Google Docs open or whatever the case is. Now, when you're studying the language, you're gonna see Egyptian words transliterated. You're gonna see dots and whatnot in the different words. And people who are not familiar with this, they ask, well, what are the dots for, and things like that. So the dot, we use dots to separate the endings from the root. All right, and we use equal signs to separate pronominal suffixes. Now, not everyone uses the dot and the equal sign combination. Some scholars will use just dots. So they use the dot for the ending and the dot for the pronominal suffix, but that gets confusing. And I've been doing this long enough, and it definitely does. It's confusing. So what I use is the dot equal sign combination. All right. And so we're going to see that in a minute. Well, not really the equal sign. Well, I can show you an example of that, but not right now. So the dot that you see here is to separate the ending. That ending there is a feminine singular ending. Okay? So you see T. So I'm sure you all heard on the YouTube streets, the feminine T, the feminine T, the feminine T. There's a whole story behind that. So don't you know, don't jump out the window with that right now. All right, but that's the word. And it means the West. Okay. So far, so good. Hopefully everybody's following. Now, Kinesis identified the third glyph, which is the glyph right here. And I know I need y'all can't see my mouse cursor, so I need to use my arrows. This third glyph is what's referred to as a toponymic determinative. All right. Toponym means place name. Everyone in the chat should know that by now, if you've been watching this channel at least. So toponymic determinative, toponymic is an adjective describing the type of determinative it is. So this is a toponymic determinative, which means that this is a determinative that designates a place. Okay, and there's many toponymic determinatives. So this designates a place. And as you can see, it makes sense because the meaning of this is the West. So Amenet is the West. That is a place. All right. So this particular word is, and I'm going to write it here. This particular word is feminine and singular. And we usually abbreviate that FS. or you usually see it F.S. Now, in notations, when we want to identify words in terms of their number, their gender, and the person, we usually go in the order of PGN, which is person, gender, and number. Person, then gender, then number. Okay, so you may see third person masculine singular, first person feminine singular, first person feminine, first person feminine plural. But you may say third person feminine plural. So it's always person, then gender, then number. Okay, PGN. But in this case, there's no person on here. It's just gender and number. Okay, so this is feminine singular. So you see FS here. All right. So I need y'all to follow me, because this is we're gonna walk through this. Okay, so that's the West. Now I'm gonna put, so that's our first word. This is gonna form the basis of our conversation. All right. So now I'm gonna put another word up here. So y'all get ready. And I want someone to tell me what this word is. Like I said, it's all right if you guess and you get it wrong, or you don't know, or whatever. Now I'm making these big. I may end up shrinking them back, but I'm making them big for the purpose of everyone seeing. And let me get the okay. So this second set of glyphs right here. Question: what word is this? What word is this? That's the question on the floor. So I'm looking at the chat. And that's correct. Jehudi made a good point that you may see it transliterated with the J, lowercase j, m-n dot t. And see, Jehudi showing off as well. What I didn't speak on is the slash. So if you see the way he transliterated with those two slash marks, you will see some scholars do that. Now online, I do that online. In books, I don't do it. You don't see that in books too much in publications. Online, or when it's necessary, because what those forward slashes are indicating is that you're dealing with how something sounds. Okay, so there's certain notation marks that are used to identify things. So we have the curly brackets for graphemes. The square brackets are for phones, and then the slashes that you see there are for phonemes, and so on and so forth. So I don't want to get too deep into that, because we're not really discussing that tonight. So yeah, Jehudi's just trying to show off with y'all right now. All right. See, in school, Jehudi be that person in the front row on the corner, always, shouting out answers when people take too long. Be like, what's 5 plus 5? Jehudi wait like 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. But it's not his turn. He be like, 10. He'll say it anyway. He's that dude. All right, so back to this. What word is that? What word do we have on the screen? Okay, so I see some answers. Niwa Sarah says Imnu. So let me put these answers on the screen. Imnu, nope, not quite. And shout out to Niwa Sarah, ETM Hotep. Kanisha says it should be the same word. No, not quite. Nope, it's not. It kind of is, but it's kind of not. So, let's get into it. And Zane said the same thing. Looks like the same word. So where we at? So DW, where you go? DW is about to put on the cape and come save y'all. He's about to swoop down and type it in there right now. Watch. 5, 4, 3, 2, bloop bloop. Okay, I was wrong. I was wrong. So I'm gonna wait a little while because, like I said, I'm not. We're gonna learn something. We're gonna learn something. And I know it's late. I know it's late. The cobwebs coming in. Everybody's kind of laid back, lounging, tired, settled down. See, that's the perfect time for pop quizzes. When you least expect it. Late at night when you first get up. Crank it out. Okay, so we got 2 answers. So he says, I'm in Niwesara says, I'm in new. Nope. And DW, I think DW came to the rescue. Amenti, that is correct. But, with a caveat. So it's but, there's a but there. Now, like what Jehudi did, DW is forcing me to explain something else. So, let me give you an example of what's going on. Okay, so you will see the name Amen, right? I'm just going to use Amen as the example. This is the God Amen. Okay, so if we want to talk about the deity Amen, that's usually how you'll see it spelled. Some people say Amun, and some people even say Aman, Amun, But the most statistically popular way of spelling it is Amen. So these spellings, and I want y'all to understand this, all of these spellings are Egyptological spellings. They're not in any way, shape, or form intended to be taken as if this is how the word was spelled or pronounced in ancient times. Okay, so let me make sure you all understand that. These are Egyptological spellings. And they're Egyptologically spelled based on the Egyptological pronunciation. So the pronunciation and the spelling go hand in hand. Okay? So that's when you see it spelled out. Now, the Sesh, Medew, Netcher, or hieroglyphic writing system does not record the vowels. So in order to discuss these words, you have to insert vowels. There will be no communication, verbal communication, without vowels. Vowels is the voice of languages. All languages have voice, vowels. All right. I'm not gonna say all because somebody gonna come back to me and say sign language don't, and I'm like, and I have to say you're right. So, but you all know what I mean. And I did say verbal languages, but I'm in. So that's I'm in. Now the point I'm making, what DW is forcing me to explain, is transliteration. This will be the transliteration of amen. I mean, it's a lowercase I. All right. So some people will spell it all the way out, Egyptologically. Now, what I encourage everyone to do is to stick with the transliteration. Stick with the transliteration. All right. And the reason why I do that, especially on a beginner's level, just stick to the transliteration. Just focus on that. Don't worry about the Egyptological spelling, because then you have to learn how Egyptologists spell these things, and then there's difference depending on what school of thought that you get into. It will depend on how it's spelled. Like I've seen, like I said, Amen is spelled 3 different ways. Amen, Amun, Aman. The deity Jehudi is spelled Tahudi, Tehudi, Jehuti, Jahuti. It's spelled so many different ways. Okay. Even Heru, you have Haru, Heru, Huru, and so on and so forth. Ptah, spelled different ways. Even Osiris, Asar, Asar, Ausar, Wesir, Wesir, etc., etc. So again, in a classroom setting or whatever case is, I always encourage people to we stick with the transliterations, because you can't go wrong with the transliterations. All right, it doesn't matter. Okay, so anyway, I explained that. So let me take that back off. But essentially, I'm just gonna repeat these. DW is correct for the second one. But now I need to let me put this. I'm just gonna fill it in. So ignore what I'm putting here. I'm gonna fill it in. So DW, and it looked like Jehudi did it again. So, but Jehudi, your one dot over would have been the correct way. So DW says I'm minty, but I'm gonna transliterate it for you properly. So it would be this here. Amenti. Okay. So, and hold on, let me put this. And we gotta change this up. So now we know what this first one is. So we were solid on the first one. This is Ament or Aminet, the West. We know it's feminine and singular. So with Amenti, what would you say that this word is or what it means? Does anybody know? I want to ask that question first. Does anybody know? Yes, no, maybe so. Like I said, there's a delay, so I like to keep on talking. I don't like that dead space there. So in this form, what does it mean? All right. So I want to see if you all can tell me. What does it mean? And then give me its gender and number. Okay, so Kinesis says Western. All right. You're very, very, very close. You're very, very close. You're very, very close. You're very close. So think about the two questions I'm asking. You have what does it mean, and then give me his gender and number. Okay, so give me his gender and number and what it means. And while y'all are working that out, I feel like this is Jeopardy. I need that Jeopardy music. That Jeopardy music needs to play. I'm gonna find that too. But just as a reminder, this Saturday at 12 noon, I will have an open house Zoom session. Everybody's invited. All right, everybody's invited. Whether you have taken a class, currently in class, thinking about taking a class, straddling the fence, even don't want to take a class, just register free on Sabre University. Okay, to become a registered user on Sabre University is that all you need is your screen. Choose a username and your email. That's it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the Zoom link. The invite is going to go out to all the users on Sabre University. All right, so make sure you register there if you're interested. So this Saturday at 12 noon is the time to meet, and I'll be sending the link out Friday. Okay, so it'll be in your email. Send the link out Friday, and I'll send a reminder Saturday morning. So Saturday noon. That's it. Be there, be square. Okay, so we have Niwa Sarah gave his take on the meaning for most of the Westerners. Not quite. You close. Just like Kinesis. Both of you all are close. Both of you all are close. All right, both of you all are close. What? All right, now I don't want to take too long, so I'm gonna have to jump in there, or I'm gonna have to Might have to get DW to swoop in again. Might have to swoop in and give it. So this question is for anybody. I'm not. If you know it, you know it. All right, because like I said, I don't want this to be a long thing. All right, DW says, okay, not sure. Niwasara says she. He says she who hides in the west. All right, Jehudi is giving y'all some pointers. That's not the answer that Jehudi I have on the screen for Jehudi. Jehudi is giving you the heads up, Niwa Sarad, that the word foremost will be Kenti. Kenti. All right, so this is not that word. All right, so I gave y'all all a shot. Like I said, we all learn something. All right, even though it's a pop quiz, if y'all don't know, we don't know. So I'm gonna keep it moving. So this word amenti, it is a masculine singular word. Okay, it is a masculine singular word, and it means one who pertains to the West. All right. Now we can shorten this as we normally do to Westerner. Westerner. All right. Y'all follow that? Hopefully everybody follow. Shout out to FX Nugget. He's in the building. So that's what this word means. One who pertains to the West. So now I want y'all to follow me now, because this is our base word, the West. So aminet or amint, depends on who you talk to. Some people pronounce it amint. Some people say aminet. It means the West. It's feminine and singular. Then this word here is derived from this word. Okay? So this is a derivation of this one. This word is masculine and singular though, but it's built off of this word. All right? So a feminine singular substantive, and by the way, with me, you're going to hear the word substantive. You're not going to hear the word noun. All right? I don't use the word noun when it comes to this stuff, and there's a whole story behind that, and a reason why, a very good reason why. But for now, just have that understanding. For now, that I use substantive instead of noun. So when you hear me say it, if you're familiar with noun, just so you know what I'm talking about. Nouns, substantives. So we have the substantive, the West, aminet. Then we have this substantive produced amenti, which is a word that's derived from this substantive. Okay? And it means one who pertains to the West, or as we say in English as a single word, Westerner. Okay? And it is masculine and singular. Oops. It's masculine and singular. All right? So y'all follow? And now, if you're confused about any of this right now, let's take a moment. Type 2 in the chat if you're confused about anything, because I need to make sure y'all get this, because I got a couple more things to do. This is for tonight. This is a little pop quiz. It's a brief pop quiz. Monday night lessons, Monday night quiz, Monday night having fun. It's that nerdy kind of fun. All right. And you're gonna learn something. And trust me, not everything, but most of the things I do, it has some rhyme or reason to it, y'all. Y'all know, because that's why I'm telling you, that's why people don't like to deal with me straight up one-to-one and stuff. Cause they're like, I know y'all see me on other people's platforms on live streams where it's like, boy, see, Joe, you trying to fool me. Because they know something is coming. They know something is coming. They know something is coming. Okay, listen. Type 2 if you're confused. Only type 2. So Zane, okay, so I think Zane. So Zane, if you're confused, like if you have a question, go ahead and ask it. But while you do that, I'm just going to summarize one more time, because then we're going to move on. So we start off with this word right here. This word is aminet. This is a substantive, what most people call a noun. All right. It means the West. It is feminine and singular. Okay. The West. This third glyph here is a toponymic determinative, which lets us know this is a toponym. This is a place. The West. Okay. This is a place name. All right. A place name. The West. Now, the second word here is a word that's derived from the first word, and it is masculine and singular. It means one who pertains to the West, or what we would say in English, a Westerner. Okay, a Westerner. All right, so keep that in mind, because y'all gonna learn something. Y'all already learning something. So, okay, Zane says, how many determinative glyphs are allowed in one word? Okay, that's a good question. How many determinative glyphs? So, that's a good question. There is no specific limit by rule. There's no rule on what limits, but the determinatives are placed at the end of words out of necessity. One, to distinguish homographs, words that have the same roots but have a totally different semantic pathway. So they have determinative. Remember that we discussed earlier when Kinesis identified it. I said, what's the other word for why do scholars call it determinative? You said it determines meaning. What is another word for meaning? Is semantics. So these determinatives are semantemes. And so if there's two overlaying semantic fields that produces a semantic matrix, you may see more than one determinative. And I'm going to repeat that. If you see more than one determinative on a particular word, the Egyptians and the scribes were documenting a semantic matrix that's composed of more than one semantic field. Another term that you'll hear or see scholars call these particular glyphs are called classifiers. Okay, so the scope of the classifier may need the word the word may need to have two classifiers or two determinatives in order to produce the semantic matrix. Okay, so hopefully that answers the question. There's not a rule on the limit of them, but in practice, you're not going to see a word with more than I would say 3 determinatives. In other words, you're not going to see a word with like 3 glyphs there and then like 6 or 7 determinatives that come after it. You're not going to see that. I have never seen that, ever. And if you ever see one, point it out to me. That would be brand new to me. Okay, so hopefully that answers your question. Like I said, I don't want to. That's a good question, but I'm trying to answer it, and keep it kind of brief, because I don't want to further confuse. Because there's more that I could say even about that, even what they call phonetic complements and some more stuff. But I want to stay right here. Okay, so that was the only 2 I had. Number 2 I had. Okay, yeah, another question real quick. Are those glyphs shown individually used as determinatives as well? No. The answer is no. The second word that I have on the screen has no determinative. Oops. I'm grabbing the wrong thing. Need to grab my arrow. This word here has no determinative. Okay, this word here has a determinative. Now I do want to say this. I want to put this in your mind, and like I said, you all need to write these jewels down, these nuggets down. All right, these are called noob nuggets, gold nuggets. That's what we call them in class, noob nuggets, noobit nuggets, golden nuggets. So write this down. When it comes to determinatives, you'll find them mostly, and I'm using the word mostly because it's not 100% and all the and everything like that. I don't want to speak in absolutes, but you'll find determinatives mostly with substantives. Okay, you're not going to find them with prepositions. You'll find them with some adjectives and some verbs. Depends. But substantives, if there's going to be a determinative, you will find it with substantives, what most people call nouns. All right, so just keep that in mind. And I basically kind of gave y'all a clue on the difference between these two words as far as word class. This one is a substantive. Notice that I didn't even give you the word class for this one yet, purposely. Okay, I'm identifying this one as a substantive. All right, matter of fact, I can write that up top. Right up here, this is a substantive. I'm not going to name this one yet. All right, so let's move on though. So let me reproduce this. Okay, so now, oh, let me make sure I didn't miss any questions. Okay, because Sumo had a question. Sumo, did he say place name? Yep, you're right. Where I want you, Woo. If the link is available, I'm willing to hop on for a few minutes because I'm still researching that and I have one or two questions. Okay, hold that question. Let me get through this pop quiz and things first, and then yeah, we can open it up. All right, we can definitely open it up. All right, so I appreciate if you can hold on to that. Kinesis had a question real quick. How to tell if a character is masculine or feminine if both the glyphs have the bread sign? Okay, that's an excellent question. But I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer it with the next couple of examples. All right, so keep that in mind. Says semantimes. Yep. All right. How to tell if a word. Okay, I received the answer. Well, thanks. Okay. And then he says, or if you I can type the question in chat. Okay, Sumo, you can type the question in chat now, but I am gonna open it up. But I want to get through this this brief pop quiz / lesson and everything like that. All right. So you can type it in chat now too. Okay, so let's move forward. So we did those two words. So now I'm gonna put some other glyphs on the screen. All right, about to switch it up on y'all. Give me a second here. Oh, where we at? Okay, here we go. My trusty whiteboard. We're going to put these glyphs on the screen. So we're going to take this off and replace it with this. And I made it entirely too big. All right. So, and I can erase all of that. Starting off fresh. So what is this word? Ignore this. I'm just gonna fill that in. I'm gonna fill all this in as we discuss it. But my first question with every set of glyphs I show you all, I'm gonna ask you all, do you all recognize the word first? So who in the chat can tell me what this word is? Who recognizes this word? If you recognize it, let us know. Let us know what the word is. Yeah, and I see your question, Sumo. So yeah, we can get to that. But so my question in the chat is, what word is this that I'm showing on the screen, the top left? Now follow me on this because we had our base, the substantive, the West. Y'all saw how that looks. Y'all saw the second one. Now we are showing this word. What is it? What is this word? And like I said, I don't like that dead space, so I'm going to keep on talking. But I don't want to touch on Sumo's question yet because that's going to take us down a whole nother pathway. Oh, oronymic. Oronymic is mountain. Oronyms are mountain names. Hydronyms are water names. So Atlantic Ocean is a hydronym. Mount Kilimanjaro is an oronym. All right, so just to answer your question, Zane. Okay, so kinesis is correct. All right, so you are correct on that. Oops. Make sure. I want to get this up, so give me a second. You are correct. But I'm going to show you something. You're correct, though. So let me get my cursor back over here on here. So that is correct. I can definitely take off substantive. All right, so we're going to transliterate this. And you transliterated it correctly based on what you see. For sure. Hold on, let me go back to it. Let me see what you did. Let me highlight. Where you at? Where you at? Right here. See, and that's good. I'm glad you're catching on. And that's absolutely correct. What you have there is correct. All right. Based on what you see. But I'm gonna put you on to get this another Nubit nugget, another gold nugget. All right. So you're correct. But so I'm gonna put what you have here in the transliteration, and then I'm gonna tell you all. But what does it mean? Now most people pronounce this amenitet or amentet. They don't put the E in between the N and the T. Amenetet or amentet. What does it mean? Okay, so Kinesis says, I think it still means west. That's close. Not I mean, you know, somewhat. Because the second one that we showed has something to do with the west. Okay, DW said the land of the west. Let me put you all's answers on the screen for archiving purposes. Land of the west, not quite. Okay, so now, you know, I don't want to be too long. I'm giving everybody a shot, but I'm gonna fill it in. Like I said, we're all learning, so just follow along. So the transliteration is proper for what you see, for the glyphs that you see. But now remember, this one is similar. This one here, it says one who pertains to the west, westerner. It's masculine and singular. Well, this one here is the same. It means one who pertains to the west. But it's feminine singular. Move this over a bit. It's feminine singular. And this is also westerner. So this word here and this bottom one here are the same. The difference between the two is this one here that I'm showing now is masculine and singular. This one here is feminine and singular. Okay, so now the fuller spelling, so this is what I meant by Nubit nugget, another Nubit nugget. The fuller spelling is this. amentit or amentit. All right. Now, when you do not see a glyph that corresponds to a transliterated character, we put them in excuse me. Got me forgetting it. Parentheses. All right. The reason for the parentheses is because you do not see the Y, the corresponding Y in the glyphs. And this is how you would free in practice in actually analyzing is for it to omit the glyphs that would represent the Y, this situation, because this forms a nice rectangle, a portrait or not landscape, but a more upright rectangle here, as opposed to putting other glyphs in there. All right. But the fuller spelling would have the either the diagonals with it, or and rarely the read, or it may have the T, which is the pestle that stands for T. Okay, like in Nefertiti. So just giving you all those nuggets there. So this is the fuller spelling. So it's amentit or amenetit, amenetit or amentit. Okay, so this one is amenti, and this one's amentit. The only difference is it has a feminine ending. It's this one right here. Without a feminine ending, it's masculine. It's masculine singular. This one here is the same, but it has the feminine ending. So it's feminine and singular. So this one too is built off of this first one. So it is a word that's derived from this first one, from this substantive. All right. Let me go back to the chat. Are y'all following? Hopefully you all are following. All right. We getting somewhere, y'all. We're getting somewhere. All right. So before I move to the next one, type 2 if you didn't follow. Type 2 if that threw you off. It shouldn't. Type 2 if you're confused, or type 2 and ask a question. All right, we'll take a moment. Shout out to Christopher Withers in the building. Welcome to the pop quiz Monday night, Mellow Mondays. Not so mellow with this pop quiz going on, but no, it is mellow because we are we're all having fun. We're all learning something right now. All right, so everybody's following along. Okay, so let's keep it moving then. We're gonna keep it moving. Okay, so this is our word. So it's amentit, one who pertains to the West. We would shorten it as Westerner, but this is feminine singular. All right. Now let's put up another glyph here. And y'all know there's a rhyme or reason. And that's probably why Christopher Withers put LOL right there, because he probably already peeped out what's going on. Because certain people know every most of the things I do has a rhyme or reason to it. Okay, so somebody tell me what this word is. If you know, give me this word. Give me the word that's on the bottom of the screen. Do I have anything blocking the screen? Nope. Give me that word. Yep, Nerdy Monday. Mellow Monday, aka Nerdy Monday. Nerdy Nunday. See that the letters gotta match. Yep, Jehudi might recognize the buzzard. So who can tell me what this word is? And it's open for anybody. I don't care, if you're somebody advanced, if you got a PhD in Sesh Medew Netcher, it's all good because we're all gonna learn. I just don't want to take up too much time But I want to. That's why I'm sticking right here. I'm sticking right here. All right. I want y'all to know that Christopher Withers gave the correct answer. I meant to you. All right. I meant to you. So I'm just gonna copy this and bring this down so I can fill it all in. So this is I meant to you, and I don't have to have this so close. Okay, so I meant to you. Now the proper way to transliterate it would be here. Let me do the same for this. I can take away the parentheses now. Why do I take away the parentheses? I'm gonna see if y'all are paying attention. Why? Oh, let me remove his thing. Why did I just take away the parentheses? All you have to do is remember why I said we put the parentheses there, and then tell me why did I take away the parentheses for this. Anybody know? And like I said, boy, I wish Google, as big as Google is, and YouTube, they need to do something about this latency. I need instant. When I speak, I want y'all should be able to instantly hear me like on the phone. Okay, both of you all are correct. Judy Mott says because it's shown in the glyphs. That's correct. And Christopher Withers says the same thing in a different way. Nothing is missing. Correct. And that is because this buzzard that Judy Mott pointed out, this buzzard is transliterated as TYW, TU. And we nicknamed this buzzard the TU bird, even though that's not the name of the bird, but we say the TU bird. All right, it is the buzzard. Okay, so this bird is here, so we don't have to have the parentheses. We see that. Okay, now, but this is properly notated, and I want y'all to remember how I'm notating these things. Let me go back to the first one. So Aminet, you see dot T. And remember what I told you all. We use dots to separate endings. We use equal signs to separate pronominal suffixes. There are no pronominal suffixes on any of these words. That's why you don't see any equal signs. But we use dots to separate the endings. All right. So, Amenti doesn't have a dot. The reason being is because masculine, the ending is null. So we would notate it with a O or 0 with a slash through it. All right, that's how we would normally notate it, but I'm not going to do all of that. And you wouldn't write that in your transliteration anyway. But in your explanations, you would note that it is null. It's not marked. Okay, so now that's those two. And now we're on these two. This one, the parenthesis Y, is because, like I said, there's an absence of the representation in the glyphs. So we put that in parentheses. But this is a feminine ending, T. So it's feminine and singular. This here, now we have to change it. So before I change the meaning, or let me ask you all, who can tell me what the meaning is? Who can tell me what the meaning is? Who knows the meaning? And in fact, let me reverse this around, because I think it's better to deal with the PGN before we get to the meaning. So let's back up. What is the gender and number of this word? Who can tell me the gender and number of this word? I meant to you. It's not FS. Okay, I just have that. I'm gonna change it. Okay. All right. So you all are getting it, and I'm glad. See, this is real good. So DW, everybody is pretty much getting it. All right. Zane, Zane's asking the meaning of what. Um, but like I said, I said let's back up because it's better to deal with the PGN. There's no P. Here's just gender number in this case. And that's correct. So who just had the correct answer? Two people. Kinesis, DW, everybody got it right. All right. So it's masculine and plural. Boy, and this thing is going to try to check. Okay, so it's masculine and plural. Okay, masculine and plural. So now with it being masculine and plural, that will spill over into the meaning. And somebody already answered this. So instead of saying one who pertains to the West, it's those who pertain, not pertains, those who pertain to the West. And we had to change that to Westerners. All right, so y'all follow that? Type 1 if you follow that. Type 2 and your question if you're confused. If I confuse you in any shape, form, or fashion. Type the number 2 if I have confused you. Type 1 if you follow along. Because I got one more. I got one more for y'all. One more. This was number 4. This is our 4th example. I got one more. And I hope y'all taking notes. But this video will be in the archives. Y'all can watch it again. That's why I don't want this video to be too long. All right. So it looks like everybody's, and shout out to 42 Tribes, ETM Hotep. I see he popped in. Okay, so let's keep it moving. All right, now I don't want to rush, but I don't want this video to be too long either. All right, so, all right, so let me copy this over, and we're going to get to our last one. And I can erase all of that. And this glyph. All right, so I'm going to show you another glyph. This one gonna be a little tricky. I'm gonna give y'all a little forewarning. Bam. Let me move this out the way because this doesn't. We didn't get to that yet. So the first thing I want to know is who recognizes this particular word. Everybody should be able to take a stab at it because if you've been here for the other 4, just take a stab at it. What do you think this word is? What is this word? What is that word I have on the screen? First come, first serve. Like I said, I'm serving all the hors d'oeuvres. I got the finger food. If you're vegetarian, if you on a keto diet, if you on a vegan diet, if you eat meat, I got some of the spare ribs in the back. I got the kale wraps. I got soups. You know, I got it all, so I'm good. We're good here. Okay, so wait a minute. Wait. So I see DW, you're answering something, but not the question I asked. I'm asking, what is this word? So somebody gotta give me the transliteration. I'm looking for the transliteration first. What is the transliteration of the word that's on the screen? What is that transliteration on the screen? All right, all right. What's the transliteration? Somebody give me the transliteration. And I know somebody in chat has it. Between DW, Chris, Judy Ma'at. I already know. They probably just counting down, just trying to give everybody else a chance. Okay, Kinesis, that's a very good guess. That's not quite right though. But that's good. I'm glad you even did that, but that's not quite right. All right. All right, so DW, not quite, but y'all are getting it. Y'all are close. Kinesis and DW, you're warm. You know, if this was what was that game we played when we were little? Hot, cold, warm, hot, or whatever. What was that game called? I forgot what that was. Was that a game? We say, "Oh, you're warm, you're warm." Up, no, you're cold, you're cold, you're cold. Whatever, but you all are warm. You all are warm. Not quite though, not quite. So you're not cold. Niwa Sarai even parsing his English. I'm trying to. I'm trying to. That's what transliteration will do to you. Oh boy, I'm trying. Oh, wait. We got let's see. Did we have anybody correct answer? I thought I saw something. Okay, so we got up, not quite, Kinesis. And Niwa Sarah close. Everybody's close. Everyone is close. Okay, so all right, so Christopher Withers has it correct but not correct. So he's hot, but he's not burning. Okay, so he's hot. Up. I got somebody even closer. FX Nugget is even closer. He's real close. Okay, really, really close. All right, that's good. Now he's like, if burning was 100 degrees Fahrenheit, he's at 98 degrees. Anyway, let's keep it moving. So you all are so I already know that you all are catching it. So let's fill it in. Like I said, I don't want to spend too much time, but let's fill it in. So FX Nugget is the closest. Okay, so the word is transliterated, and he correctly put the parentheses there because the Y is not there, but it's this here. Okay, so the only thing that he had different is a comma. See, we don't use commas. All right, so if you would have taken that comma off, and Jehudi Ma'at, I believe Jehudi Ma'at has it correct. Yep. Oh, not quite. Hold up. Wait. Hold up. I gotta go back. Hold up. I gotta go back to I got too excited. See? I was rooting for FX Nugget. I was rooting for you. And I got too excited. So no. So between Chris and FX Nugget, I think you all are equally tempered, but the correct way, actually, Jehudi done showed out everybody. Where's yours? Let me put yours back up here. Jehudi is the closest. You just got your parentheses around the wrong wrong character. All right. So you're the closest. You're the closest. All right. So this is the word here. Amintiyut. So everybody, I can't hear you all, but you all can say it. That's the Egyptological pronunciation. Amintiyut. All right. So the parentheses around the Y because the Y is not reflected in the glyphs, so it's omitted. The feminine T is there. The W is there. Okay. What's not there is the Y, so you put the Y in parentheses. So Judy was the closest. All right. So hopefully everybody follows that. All right. So now, what does it mean? Oh, not what does it mean? So, excuse me. What is its gender and number? What is the gender and number? Who could tell me the gender and number? It's real easy. Gender number. There's no person involved, so it's not PGN, it's GN. We're just dealing with GN. Gender and number. Okay, feminine and plural. Yep, that is correct. So it's feminine and plural, and the meaning will stay the same. It's the same as the ones before, so we would have to change this to those who pertain to the West, and to be Westerners. All right. Make sure I had this one. Those who pertain to the West, Westerners. Right. Exactly. All right. So you all see the difference between these two is that this one is Amentiyu, masculine and plural, and this is Amentiut. See that T at the end? This is feminine and plural. All right. Now, always remember this. When it comes to feminine plural words, there are people out there who make a very big mistake and put the W after the T. Some people will try to argue and kick, scream, and beg to even debate you that a W is supposed to go after the T. But that is just absolutely wrong. No one analyzes feminine plural that way. No one. Okay, so anybody that does that, you let them know that send them the other way. All right, but the plural comes before the T, so the W is before the T. All right, so remember that. And so those are the 5. All right, so now, as a final thing, so let's just review real quick. So we start off with our substantive, Amenet, which is the West. It is feminine and singular. Then we have a word that's derived from it, Amenti. All right, one who pertains to the West, Westerner. This is masculine and singular. Then we had Amentit, which is feminine and singular, with the same meaning as the previous one. It's also derived from the substantive. We have Amentiyu, which is also derived from the substantive, but it's masculine and plural. And it's those who pertain to the West. Instead of one who pertains to the West would be singular, it's plural. Those who pertain to the West, Westerners. And then finally, we have the feminine form of that previous one, feminine plural, which is Amentiyut, feminine plural, and is those who pertain to the West as well. All right. So now, what these particular words are called, let me just ask, just see if anybody knows first before I just blurt it out. I gave the word class for this one, or what people know in elementary school as part of speech. I gave the word class for this first word, which is a substantive. What is the word class for this particular word, or for the other 4? Okay, what is that class of word? All right, so you all are getting it though. I see the answers when everybody had feminine plural, etc. So that's excellent. That's what I'm talking about. All right, and Jehudi gave the correct answer. A Nisbi. Okay, these words outside of the first one, the rest of them, as a matter of fact, let me just consolidate them and put them on one slide. Let me put them on one slide for y'all. We're gonna organize this. All right, just give me a minute. Give me a second here. Organize this properly. gonna put them side by side so you can see them all together. And the other two. All right, so we have this here. Bam. All right. So these are all 5. All right. Now, the first one is a substantive. All right, the next 4 are Nisbys. So I'm just going to put this right here, Nisbys. But Jehudi, since you answered that, what is another word? Well, actually, let me ask this question. Who knows? And Chris had the same answer as well. And I hope y'all are following now. I need y'all to follow this. What does the word Nisby mean? What does the word Nisby mean? What does the word Nisby mean? All right. I need that answer from somebody in the chat. And again, shout out for the chat. This is Mellow Mondays. It's late night. You know, I just popped up with this resurrection of our pop quizzes. So I'm gonna be consistent with this. So y'all gotta be ready. Y'all gotta stay ready. Y'all gotta stay ready. Okay, so my question is, what does Nisby mean? And Chris said derived. Okay, so Chris is jumping ahead a little bit. That's not the answer to that question, but it's you in the area. You're in the area. You're definitely in the area. What does the word Nisby mean? And Chris, I know you know this. Yep, there you go. Relational. All right. Because I want everybody to follow. Now, you know, obviously this video is going to be archived, but so the word Nisby comes from the Arabic language and it means relational. Okay. So as a matter of fact, let me just put it in parentheses here. So it is relational. So it is a relational, it means relational. Now, let's complete it. It means relational, but what word class is it? And I'm just going to fill it in. I just want y'all to follow this. It is an adjective. Okay? All 4 of these are Nisby adjectives. But the word Nisby is an Arabic word that means relational. So they're relational adjectives. So I'm going to do this the other way around because I like to be formal and then put the nickname in parentheses. Okay, so these are formally referred to as relational adjectives. Okay, nickname Nisby. The word Nisby means relational. Okay, so you're basically saying relational twice if you say relational Nisby adjectives. So it's okay. But so that everyone knows what it is, relational adjectives. All right. Now, what these words do, and I need you all to definitely get this and understand this. What these words do, it establishes a relationship with the substantive from which it is derived. Okay, and this is where Chris came into play, where that these are also called derived adjectives. Okay, derived from what? Nisbys or relational adjectives are derived adjectives, but they're derived from only 2 other word classes. And I'll put this down here. They either derive from substantives or prepositions. In this case, and you know, I can't see the chat when I'm actually typing on the thing. Let me move this out the way. In this case of these four, all four of these are derived from a substantive. But derived adjectives can be derived from substantives or prepositions. So right now we can ignore the preposition side of it because in this case these four are not derived from a preposition. Amenet is a substantive. It means the West. All right, so now what it does, it establishes a relationship to that substantive. But what is the meaning of the relationship? Now notice what we were saying. This means the West. Let me put that down here. This means the West, right? West. This one here. And just so we're clear, I need everybody to follow this. If y'all know me, I'm gonna end up reusing it, so that's why I try to be as particular as I can be. All right, so this particular one here is ament or amenet. It means the West. It's a substantive, and we also gave the meaning of these words. Okay, this one is, and I'm gonna run out of room, so let me bump this up here a little bit. This one is what we say, Westerner, right? This one is also Westerner. This one is Westerners. And so is this one, Westerners. All right, so y'all follow that. So we have the West itself, which is a place, a toponym. We have one who pertains to the West, Westerner. That's masculine singular. Another one who pertains to the West, which is Westerner. That's feminine singular. Then we have those who pertain to the West, which is Westerners. That's masculine and plural. And then we have, again, those who pertain to the West, which are Westerners again, but this is feminine and plural. All right? Y'all follow that? Type 1 if you follow, because I got two more questions, y'all, and then we'll open up for a little bit, and then that's gonna be a wrap. So y'all take your finger food. These are called Nubit nuggets. All right. And watch some people be copying all this stuff, and doing it, acting like they started this or whatever the case is. Type 1 if you follow. If you're confused, don't be afraid. Type 2, type your question. If you got a question, I'm gonna actually post the link to the chat. Matter of fact, link to the panel. I'm gonna do that in a few seconds. Watch somebody start saying Nubit nuggets, or you'll see some titles. Grammar. Ain't nobody talk about grammar. Only. I'm telling you, it's crazy out here. Definitely wrote something down today. All right, so let's keep it moving. All right, so let's keep it moving. Okay, so here's the question, right? So we have the substantive, the West. And then let's take the masculine and plural. Now remember, the masculine and plural is here. I meant to you. I want you all to burn this in your head. I meant to you. What does it mean? It means those who pertain to the West. Now here's my question to y'all. Does it mean those who are the West? Or does it mean those who pertain to or relate to the West? That's my question. Which does it mean? I mean, we see the meaning on the screen, but just answer yes or no. Does it mean, or do you notice that it does not mean those who are the West. See, a Nisbe. Where's my slide? A Nisbe is a relational adjective, but it is not an equalizer. It is not an equator. See, people make the mistake and do this. People in their mind, they want to make it equal. So people want to say X equals West. But it doesn't mean that. All right? And I got to do this because I don't want anybody to watch this video and think that that was correct, because it was not. So we're going to put a line through it. It does not mean that. It does not mean X is, because equal sign is the word is or equals. X does not equal the West or is the West. Instead, it sets this up. X pertains to or relates to. If I spell relates right. In our case, it'd be West. That is the proper semantic meaning of a relational adjective that's derived from a substantive. Okay, so I want y'all to get this, burn this in your mind, your psyche, your spirit, your soul, your heart, whatever. Burn that in. Burn that in. Okay, I want y'all to burn that in. Do y'all follow? So type 1 if you follow this, type 2 if you're confused, because I don't want anybody to walk away confused. This is important. Because I know everybody that types a 1, I definitely expect y'all to not fall for the shenanigans after this. Type 1 if you understand, if you follow along and you understand. Okay? I want everybody to follow along with this. This is not hard at all. I just want to make sure everybody follow. Okay? So while you all do that, I'm going to get something real quick. I'm going to pull up something. I'm going to pull up something here. See, and I already know, that's why Chris LOL, because Chris know that, boy. See, people want to talk about throwing daggers, like dagger, being a dagger thrower or arrow shooter or even a gunslinger or whatever the case is. And that's all good. But the best ones be like, will release whatever it is, be it a dagger, arrow, gun, grenade, slingshot, boomerang, whatever. The best ones is when you throw it and you throw it in a totally different direction and then it just curves all the way around. All the way around. All right. So okay, so everybody follows that, right? So now, here's the thing. This is what I want you all to understand. Okay, I want y'all to understand this. Here's my question. I want to see who's been paying attention. Relational adjectives can only be derived from 2 types of words. What are those 2 types of words? Again, the question is, relational adjectives can only be derived. They're derived adjectives as well. So relational adjectives and derived adjectives, they're the same. But my question is, what types of words can relational adjectives only be derived from? I'm going to repeat it third time for the third time, just to buy some time. What types of words can derived adjectives be derived from? There's only two. Yep, Jehudi has it correct. 42 Tribes has it correct. Christopher has it correct. Prepositions and substantives. Excellent. 42 Tribes. Substantives and prepositions. FX Nuggets. Substantives and prepositions. Correct. Excellent. We say Iker. Substantives and prepositions. That's correct. So far, everybody's following along. And whoever's in the chat not following along, just rewatch this video, because I don't, you gotta type. You gotta make yourself known and heard. All right. So remember that, y'all. So here's a follow-up question to that. Can a relational adjective derive from an adjective? Uh-oh. I ain't mean to laugh, but my question is, can a relational adjective be derived from an adjective? And I know there's a delay. Zane let me down. Zane, you just said only substantives and prepositions. So when I ask, can they be derived from adjectives, how do you say yes? Let me put Zane on Front Street. So Zane correctly answers the question that relational adjectives can only be derived from substantives or prepositions. All I did was ask the same question in reverse. Can relational adjectives be derived from adjectives? The answer is no. The answer is no. They're only derived from substantives or prepositions. Okay? So now let's put this word up on the screen, and we're going to close out with this one here. Bam! All right, let's make this a little big. Let's make this big here. All right. So what is this word? Who could tell me what this word is? Who can tell me what this word is? Who could tell me what this word is? Somebody tell me. Matter of fact, let me put the other form of it on here as well, cause I can't discriminate. Can't discriminate. I don't want to discriminate. So I don't want to discriminate. So I'm gonna put the other form on the screen too. I want y'all to tell me what word. Now these two words are transliterated the exact same way, by the way. So I'm just showing you the both ways in which you will see this word. Okay? I'm showing you both ways in which you will see this word here. All right, looks like y'all are picking up. All right, so Chris has the correct answer. 42 Tribes. Oh, 42 Tribes leading the pack. Exactly. So 42 Tribes has definitely been paying attention. That's really good. That's really good, because 42 Tribes, I normally don't see 42 Tribes engaging and kicking in like that, but that's excellent. So 42 tribes, I'm going to give you the credit. Exactly. That's the word Kemet. Let's put this on the screen. We're going to give the transliteration. Kemet. Now, how should we transliterate it? I already showed you all the notation, how we supposed to notate it. So hopefully you all get it. Boy, spell check. You see, spell check. Spell check jacked me up. All right. So this is the word. Kemet. You see that? I probably need to make this big. I'll make it bigger. But nah, I'm gonna put it in my oh, what's going on? Okay, there we go. Okay, Kemet. Y'all see that? I need my trusty arrow there. Okay, y'all see that? Now, I don't have to say another word. Let me remove 42 tribes. Now, you all see how we walk through that? That is how you demonstrate and don't bump your gums in explaining something. All right, we walked from the foundation up to this point right here to where now you all can know and discern the difference. You don't need me now. As long as you understand this, you took your notes. Because if this is your first time hearing it, then obviously, you know, we're forgetful. But my point is, you can see and anchor it in all of the reasoning. So let me ask you a question. Kemet. Is it a relational adjective? Yes or no? Is it a relational adjective? Is it just like you? 42 tribes, correct. He said it is. So this is no different than you. And we could pick any of the words. Iabetiyu, duatiyu, aketiyu, eremtiyu. I just chose one for the sake of time. So Kemet is a relational adjective, no different than you. So what is this gender number? Let me see if y'all are paying attention. What is this gender number? Y'all tell me its gender number. So I'm going to write it is a relational adjective. Oops. So we know it's a relational adjective. What is its gender number? Yep, FX Nuggets. Zane, come on, Zane. Zane said feminine plural. Nope. Judy Mott got it right. It's masculine plural. FX has it right. Masculine plural. And Chris has masculine and singular. Nope, it's not singular. It's plural. Remember, you is masculine and plural. All right. Do I have to go over this all over again? Do I have to start all over? All right, is that what y'all tell me? I have to start all over again? How can look, we just left this. Look, you is masculine and plural. It means those who pertain to the West. It doesn't mean those who are the West. Keep this in mind. It doesn't mean those who are the West. It means those who pertain to the West. Because it gets its meaning from the derivation process because it's a derived adjective. It's derived from a substantive. So let's go back to this one here. Now I made these big so y'all can see, but I'm gonna have to shrink this. I got a little carried away with that. Let me shrink these a bit. I need some room. So let me put them side by side so I can have some real room here. All right. Okay, so side by side now. Okay, so this is Medew. It's a relational adjective. Now, it being a relational adjective, now you know all you have to do is just do it to follow the same paradigm as we did with Aminet, Aminetit, and all of the above. But we're dealing with Medew. Okay, so remember, the West is a place. Okay, the West is a place. And so Medew is those who relate or pertain to that place. The place is the West, so it's those who pertain to or relate to the West. And we shorten that in English as one word, Westerners. We could say Medew, Mehet being north. And we can say Medew would be those who pertain to the north. We would say Northerners. We could do the same, Northerners. Now, Kemet, let's see what this is derived from. Remember, can this be derived from adjective? You all answered correctly and said no. It cannot be derived from adjective. Now I'm gonna leave this. As a slide on its own. Let me make a new slide with this down at the bottom now. So we know relational adjectives are derived adjectives. So what are these two Medew? What are these derived from? What is derived from? Y'all know I'm about to show you, right? Up. I thought I had it separate. Give me a second. Give me a second. I thought I already had it. I should have it. Right here. Y'all still with me? Bam. So these three different variations of Kemet have a toponymic determinative. So Kinesis, if you're still there, you point out the triple hills as the toponymic determinative for the word Aminet for the West. These are toponymic determinatives. Irrigation, channel. They refer to this as Nuit, which is a town or village, but it's actually a crossway for irrigated water, for water. Okay? All three of these are Kemet. All three of these are place names. Well, it's the place name. It's the same. It's the three variations of the place name. It's a place. So Medew is derived from a substantive Kemet, just like Medew is derived from the substantive Aminet, the West. So it's never, a Nisbe is never derived from an adjective, only a substantive or a preposition. So this Medew can only mean, and let's get the same wording we have right here. Let's copy this and we're gonna bring it on over here. We're gonna bring it on home. Bring it on home. Those who pertain to Kemet. the place. And if we were to Romanize it into one English word, we would say commissions. Romanized. I just want to put Romanized there because you know how if we were to Romanize, just like we say Nubet or Nubetiu, we would say Nubians. That's the English Romanization of that. So the Romanization of Kemetiu would be Commissions, just like we have Canadians, Canada, Canadians, Jamaica, Jamaicans, Florida, Floridians, Georgia, Georgians, America, Americans, Russia, Russians, Mexico, Mexicans, Kemet, Commissions. Y'all get it? This is how you demonstrate. And so I want y'all to understand how you all walk through this. Okay, so that's my lesson for tonight, the pop quiz. I want to make sure everybody Sumo, you still there? I didn't see Sumo type in the chat for a minute. Sumo, if you're still there, I'm gonna give you the link so you can come on and we can discuss what you were asking about. I may have already answered it by going through this. Like I said, I don't want to make this video too long, but I'm definitely willing to have a conversation. So y'all let me know in the chat. Anybody want to come in, let me know. So just say yes if you want to come on the panel and you rather speak than type. Oh, he said I'm just illiterate. He said, yeah, I'm still here. All right, so I'm gonna give you the link real quick. Post the link in the chat. We're gonna post it up. Post it up. The panel link. There you go, right there. So come on in and go for it. I'm gonna pin it to the top. Anybody want to come in? So listen, type 1 if y'all followed along with the pop quiz or this quiz / lesson today, and y'all be on the lookout for a new grammar that will be hitting the scene. And I plan to more realistically the first quarter of next year. All right. A lot of things change. I was actually working on this book in 2020 for it to be out in 2020. Then the pandemic hit, priorities changed, a whole bunch of things came in between. So my time scale was thrown way off. And then also it's my fault. I can't blame everything on COVID or the pandemic and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of everything. But my realistic publishing time will be the first quarter of next year. All right. And so you're going to see, and this book is going to have everything in it, the beginner's level of information, all about the writing system and the morphology and syntax of the language, all in one book. And it's written in a way that's based on my experience teaching. I have over 10 years of teaching the language. And so I utilize that experience in order to find ways to explain things. And it's different. The way I explain things is different than what you see in the existing grammars out there, because I rub elbows with both professors and many students of college level Egyptology and those people who are taking the language. And I see, where confusion creeps in, and I try to eliminate all of that kind of stuff in the way that I explain things. Okay, so although there's a lot of grammars out there, this one is just going to be based on my experience and everything. So it'll be just another option for people to grab and learn. And it's gonna be a textbook, so it's not written for groundbreaking new knowledge. So it's not a research paper. Okay, it's not a research thesis, dissertation, or paper, whatever case is. It is a descriptive grammar, synchronic descriptive grammar. That's why you see it on the cover. The first edition will be this will be the first edition, of course, but it's going to be a synchronic descriptive grammar of the older speech of Kemet. All right, that's what you see in the subtitle below the title, Ancient Egyptian Orthography and Grammar. All right, so there you have it. But Sumo, I don't see you. And he said, but my question have the same. Okay, so let's question. My question was, would you have the same meaning for Kemet if it wasn't a hydronym? Say, for example, if it was an oronym, would you still have the same meaning or a different one? Oh, I see what you're asking. Okay, I'm sorry. Man, I'm slow tonight. Let me put your question on the screen. So I see what you're saying. So because Kemet is a toponym. Okay, the Kemet that we're talking about is a toponym. It is a place name. Okay, and then you can subdivide place names between hydronyms, oronyms, and other kind of nyms. They subdivide. It's not just those two. Hydronym, where hydro deals with water, so those are water names. Oronym, deal with mountains. But you have other ones as well. So that factors in because that shapes the semantic meaning of the toponym. Remember, you have toponym and the different types. So regardless of whether it's a hydronym, oronym, and all of the other nyms, they're all toponyms. These are types of toponyms. So all of these are places. Okay, and so it would affect the meaning. It would affect the meaning. All right, so I mean that's a short, simple answer. It would affect the meaning, for sure. All right, you can't just, like, for example, names of deserts. I forgot what the type of toponym that is. And I didn't put it on any of the slides. I only gave two examples, which was a hydronym and oronym, just to show people that there's different types. But desert names, you cannot have a meaning of and I wish I knew what the desert prefix was for desert. Like we have hydro for water, oro for mountain, and there's one for desert. It just escapes me for right now. But you cannot pull out a semantic. You can't pull out a meaning dealing with water when it's referring to desert. And the very meaning of a desert is the absence of water. You see what I'm saying? So it definitely makes a difference. All right. So hopefully that makes sense to you. All right. So hopefully that makes sense to you. Anybody else? Anybody else got any questions before I wrap this up? Like I said, I'm gonna keep this. It's a 2-hour and 15-minute video so far, and I want to make sure I keep this short. But I don't want to rush. If you got a question, ask it. Now's the time. Now is the time. The time is now. But that was simple. That should be simple. And if there aren't any, then listen, I really appreciate everybody tuning in. It's late. It's mellow. It's I call it Mellow Mondays because you gotta have the the M and the M. Throwback Thursdays, Freestyle Fridays, Mellow Mondays. Oh, African Renaissance. Yeah, you got to revisit African Renaissance. This was a hopefully you'll enjoy this pop quiz. But at the end of the day, listen, you all should have learned something tonight. Hopefully you have a to-go box, some Nubit nuggets. Put your new bit nuggets in the drawer. Keep 'em for safekeeping, and keep adding to it. So I'm gonna keep dropping some new bit nuggets every time I do this. I'm gonna do these pop quizzes every now and then. So y'all gotta stay ready. All right. Share this video and all that good stuff. And with that, I'm gonna say Shimim Hotep, and hopefully you all stay safe and stay ready, because I'm pop back up on you. I'm gonna pop back up with the pop quiz and everything. All right. So with that, I am definitely going to say, let me see, make sure I don't have any ending announcements or anything. Oh yeah, let me remind y'all. Sorry, this Saturday. So those who tuned in now, spread the word. Listen, spread this word. Help me spread the word. This Saturday. What's Saturday's date? Let me see. Gotta look at my calendar real quick. Saturday is October 1st. Okay, so that's a good date. I didn't even know that. So Saturday, October 1st at 12 noon, I'm having an open house Zoom session. Any and everybody can come, and we're going to discuss, the process of learning a language, whatever the case is. But I'm only sending the Zoom link out for those who register to Sabre University. Registration is free. Go to sabreuniversity.com. Just register as a user. All you need is to select create a username and give your email. That's it, and you'll be a registered user on Sabre University. I'm sending the link out Friday, and then a reminder on Saturday morning. But Saturday at 12 noon, I'm having an open house discussion about the ancient Egyptian language. Okay, how we learn it, how it's taught, how we teach it, how we learn it, some of the benefits of learning it. Because people say, why should I learn a dead language? It's dead. Doesn't put money in my pocket, food on my table, doesn't feed my kids, and this, that, and the third. What's the point? It's a dead culture, dead language. Y'all in East Africa, when y'all didn't come from East Africa, came from West Africa through the transatlantic slave trade and everything like that, and blah blah blah. I'm sure y'all heard all of that good stuff. Well, bring all of those comments and bring all that good stuff Saturday at 12 noon. All right, and be there or be square, like I said. All right, so, and then make sure you all download the app. Okay, go to Sabre University. That's going to be the first thing you see at the top on the banner. It's going to be the app. All right. So with that, I'm definitely going to say I will see you all next time. We'll pop up on you, so stay ready. Y'all got to stay ready. Hope you learned something. So Shalom Hotep.
This is the irony of it all, and this is the trap. The Europeans began to manipulate history when they rose and began to expand into the broader world in the 15th and the 16th century, because they had to justify the slave trade, and they had to justify the colonial system that followed. And modern racism has its incubation in that period. You cannot enslave a man and say he's a human being, that he has humanity. Black people have never written any definitions of race, any definitions of what a people. They have never said that these people with these kind of traits belong here. Because modern racism had its development in the pseudo-scientific development of intellectual Europe after the 15th century. And they began to say that certain kind of people belong to certain kind of race, and they created the concept of race and racism itself.
You saying, in essence, that there's no such thing as a race?
Oh, I maintain that race is the phoniest issue ever invented by the mind of man. The European invented and developed the concept of race. There's really no such thing as a race, because nature created no races. Race is a man-made thing.
Could we say that being called black was a political term?
It's a political term, and a term which indicates our self-awareness at this juncture in history, and I think we really need it. We need to really bathe in blackness for a while, but I wish we'd get the bath over with and go on to something a little more important. Black in itself is not an ethnic term. Black tells you how you look, but it don't tell you who you are. We are essentially an African people. Wherever we live on this earth, we're essentially an African people. And we relate to the millions of African people throughout the world, including the uncounted millions of Africans in Asia. The word Afro-American or African-American would probably be more appropriate and more honest and more in keeping with what we actually are. Because all of us are not positively, physically, real jet black. And so the argument now sometimes is between the supernationalists and the mild nationalists and blacker than thou. When blackness is a state of mind, a state of attitude, a state of approach to things that can exist in almost any of us, including from the blonde black person to the jet black. And the jet black can be traitors, and they can be patriarchs, they can be a whole lot of it. See, we've been everything in history from saint to buffoon. We're a complete people, and we need to start looking at ourselves as a complete people. And I think that once we convinced ourselves that we're black and beautiful, we'll stop saying it and just go ahead and be black and beautiful and release a whole lot of energy for more important things. And we need to start looking at ourselves as a complete people. And I think that once we convinced ourselves that we're black and beautiful, we'll stop saying it and just go ahead and be black and beautiful and release a whole lot of energy for more important things.
Could we say that being called black was a political term?
It's a political term and a term which indicates our self-awareness at this juncture in history, and I think we really need it. We need to really bathe in blackness for a while, but I wish we'd get the bath over with and go on to something a little more important. We need to really bathe in blackness for a while, but I wish we'd get the bath over with and go on to something a little more important.